Hello, thank you for joining me tonight on this third episode of Duty Found. We are going to be doing our next dungeon of the night, the third dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. So we're going to go and open up our Duty Finder, and the next dungeon we're going to tackle is Copperbell Mines. So we're going to go ahead and join in. As usual, I am going to be going in as a healer, the White Mage. Get a nice overall perspective, see how things are going, and get a nice view of how the dungeons typically go. We'll see how long it takes for the queue to pop. It's a little late in the evening tonight. So in the meantime, I guess I'll just take you guys around town. Here we are at my house. Nothing too fancy. I haven't decorated the inside at all yet. But I've got a nice garden. That counts for something, right? Yeah. Looks like queue's almost ready. We're just waiting on a tank. So, there's that. Let's head up to the FC house, see how things are doing up there. Okay, you may or may not remember this. The free company house for Esper Form. We've done some work on it. I need to take care of the gardens here. Might as well while we're waiting on the dungeon to pop. It's taking a little while tonight. Well, here we've got our front entry desk. Echo seems to always be in a spot there. This here is my desk. It's very rarely occupied by anyone else. Here we have the head of the Dreadworm, a little bit of a swag piece we got from the last raid of current content. Walking around, and maybe this queue will pop someday, maybe. Alright, and here we go, into Copperbell Mines. Looks like the DPS may be asleep at the helm. And here we go. Alright, looks like we've got a rather experienced crowd tonight. Got a Summoner, a Dragoon, a Paladin, and myself on White Mage. So it should be a nice run. Guess I should buff the party. Little things. So I've got a few more tools since the last time you guys saw me. I've got a second party buff available, Eye for Eye. It's a cross-class skill I got from my Arcanist. I've got... actually not much more than that. I've got Cure still. Got my Asuna to clear off the debuffs. Can raise. I have my Swiftcast still set. I still am limited to Fluid Aura, Arrow, and Stone for my offensive abilities. I've got Cleric Stance there to switch it into between offense and defense. Let's see what the next thing you guys will see should be. Oh, alright. We'll get Stone 2 at 22, so that should be the next dungeon we see. The tank is away for a moment, so nothing to worry about. A little look-see at how our DPS look. Okay, someone's looking for an Atma clear. Alright, and here we go. That was a bit of a missed flash there. Since these are all level synced from 50, these guys are going to be a little bit harder than you've seen in previous dungeons, so it's going to give me a little bit more time to throw some damage out. So it might be a little bit faster run than we're used to. Got the key here to open up the blasting door. And a lift to ride on down. This is kind of toward the beginning of when dungeons start to be a little bit more interesting. More things going on, more mechanics, and just a little bit less boring. The first couple are just barely getting your feet wet. Okay, here we are. Looks like the tank's getting ambitious, going for a couple mobs, making this a bit of a bigger pull. But dot everything with my arrow and get some heals in. Reapply, reapply, reapply. The way dots and HOTS, heals over time, work in this game. They go off a 3-second tick system, and with the global tick, sometimes you'll lose some, sometimes you'll gain some extra ticks. So, one thing to just be aware of is just every 3 seconds, or if you have less than 3 seconds left on an existing overtime spell, it's pretty safe to assume it's safe to override that. Okay, see there's an optional pull down that way, we'll be alright. When you're running this for XP on low level jobs, a lot of times you will get all those side pulls. Just more mobs, more kills, more XP. But, looks like these guys are more interested in a quick and easy. That's fine, that's fine. I'll just point out to you the things we're missing. These are the Geigas, probably the first one you've seen with me. They have a frontal cleave attack you gotta watch out for, so it's good practice for tanks to get into to start keeping them in one direction and not moving them around. It is typically best practice for tanking anyway, is don't move things too much. A lot of DPS have positional abilities where it matters if they're in the front or the side or the back. So it's just easier for everybody if the tank moves as little as possible. Things do tend to get a little bit hectic as you get bigger pulls, combine things, so as you get further along in the game you do more and more of this combining pulls to make the dungeon runs go quicker. So it's good practice for down the line. Okay, and tank is moving before that's finished. That's alright. DPS can finish it up. And we'll move on. Go lightning sprites. Look here on the map. There was an optional room here off to the side we just passed. It has a chest, so a little chance for additional gear when you're leveling up, but nothing to worry about right now, like I mentioned earlier. Nothing to worry about here, just a nice straight path. There is the mob running down that way. Here we see some fire sand. Gonna go ahead and pick that up. And whenever the tank is ready. Whenever they're ready. Or, okay, they'll just attack me. That's fine. So the tank was too busy typing to tank. That's alright. Makes things more interesting. Okay, and here we go. Got some more fire sand up here on top of this pile. We will set the fire sand in the powder chamber and pull the plunger. Here we are in the first, I wouldn't call it a boss encounter, but first scripted encounter here of this dungeon. This one sets us through a gauntlet, actually. There are going to be mobs spawning here, and more dropping down off that ledge. But these are all relatively squishy mobs, so we're going to just correct stance and go to town. Another day at the office. Am I DCing? There's just no object. We're just far too quick. Another bomb coming down. Just need to take care of it before we use self-destruct. Nothing to worry about. My, lots of mobs right there on the list. There we go. Another bomb. Take care of, and here we go. The end of the gauntlet. Kotos, a named giant. He's got that cleave, you see, you got the summoner there. But many of the harder Gygus will use Immortalize. It gives them reduced vulnerability. They just take less damage. It's a little bit harder to take out. And everybody's decent levels, I'm just going to go ahead and greed on that. You can turn those in for seals and credits for things down the line. So, and the tank's getting antsy again. No, okay, yeah, there's a shaft there. So, we are gated here. We'll have to take care of these. Eventually I might actually... I mean, maybe? I guess not. Go ahead and grab this chest. I don't think it ever has anything aside from potions, but never know. Wait for the summoner. There we go. And pull the lever. Okay. Here we see another powder chamber and blasting device, but we don't have any fire sand yet, so we'll need to get that. That actually drops from the blasting caps here, so we need to take care of them. Looks like that ghost has a limited range, so can only go so far. And can't run around too much. Go. This fire sand's around. Sneak that out. Push this on. And since everyone's okay, throw on a little bit of damage, speed this up a little bit. Okay, well, that's one of the 6-ounce pinches. We, however, need 2, so we'll go down here, and there's another blasting cap. See the arrow that was, or the line that was going through. He is going to link. Well, just one mob this time, no, not 4 like previously, so should be quick and easy. Fire sand we needed. There's a chest in this room down here. Looks like someone may be going to get it. Yep, and it drops loot. So I'm going to agree on that too, because, yeah, why not? Drop the fire sand and blow the wall. A little bit more fire sand, and we're coming up on the second boss. This one is actually a fun little boss. It is more or less impervious to attack. The way to get around that is the improved blasting device here will spawn bombs. You use the bombs, or you lure the bombs toward the boss, and when the bombs use self-destruct, they will blow up the boss, bit by bit by bit. So here we go, the blasting cap. Hopefully the DPS don't touch it. The tank will pick it up. There we go, he flashed it. All is well. And it might be in range. There we go, yep, he's got 2 of the other bikers higher. We'll wait for the next one to go up. Wait for the blasting cap to come up. There we go. Pop that real quick. Another bomb pops. Tank will pick it up. The mob will pop that is going to try and kill the blasting cap. So take care of it pretty quickly. And here we go, it's gonna self-destruct. Take it out of the way. There's 1 step smaller. Now 1 more of those and they'll be small enough that we'll actually be able to hurt them. So we're almost done with this. Hit this real quick. New blasting cap. Get ready, there we go. There's another Spriggan. Down it goes. And the last explosion. And now we go to town on the little guys. They're not much to speak of at all. This is kind of a home stretch. There's just a bunch of them. Okay, and that's that for the second boss. Get the chests. There should be more. Yep, they got the fire sand. Another wall to blow. And here we go. Home stretch now. Okay, tank's going this way. There are a couple different paths you can take. Okay, looks like we're combining these. There's another giant that's going to be popping and joining in the fun here. Looks like I'm going to actually have to heal this. Throw that eye for eye I mentioned earlier. Eye for eye, what it does is it applies a buff to the tank that whenever the tank is hit by a physical attack, there is a 20% chance that the mob that hits the tank will get a debuff on them that lasts for 20 seconds that will reduce their damage by 10%. So, that's quite handy when dealing with large packs of mobs like this, as there's a chance for to apply on each of them. See, it looks like it went on that sort of there. Only got the one. It may have gotten the giant before it died. So it's not a direct mitigation, but it is the potential for significant mitigation. And when you have a lot of input, anything helps. There's a pack of mobs here around the corner that you actually, as far as I know, can't avoid. The Hipposurf there is typically right in the way. Tank is... okay, there we go. Is taken care of, and we'll be right on to the last boss. So we are very near to the end today. Alright, there's a chest back there around the corner. Looks like they did pick it up. And here we are with the boss. This boss has an interesting mechanic that nowadays is pretty much ignored. He will break down one of the stone walls here up here, and from the gap, other giants will come out and will attack one of these walls down here. They'll come pretty slowly from the hole that the boss makes, but if they're able to break through the wall over here, they will spawn increasing numbers. It gets a little out of hand really quickly. So the trick is you either control the adds by killing them before they're able to get to the wall, or do much to the wall, or you just focus the boss and take him down with as much damage as you can before it becomes an issue. Both are viable, it just depends on a case-by-case basis based on your group's damage. Some groups, if you've got very fresh players, will not quite be able to make that push. There we go, see the stone servant is running, making a beeline straight for the other wall. Message that he's trying to break through. It's a nice thing about 14, it does give you little tooltips on when things are happening and when you may or may not want to have a say in the matter. And it looks like we will more than beat the other guys, so nothing there. And Dragoon right there. And this is gonna finish up the boss. He's very nearly down. There we go. This has been the third dungeon of Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you for joining me on Duty Found. And this has been nice and quick and easy, and I hope you will join me in our next dungeon. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head what it is, but before long it'll be out, I'm sure. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me in the comments or by email. I'm more than happy to respond. And any suggestions on content I could add, or ways to improve the quality of this channel, I would be more than happy to take. Thank you, and have a good night.